The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Shawn.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's September. It's the 20th. It's 2022, and we're at 5:30 in the morning. Are you a little sore?
A little bit. Absolutely. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling down, but I'm good, you know? I was like, you know what I need? I need a good rest tonight. I need to eat well, and I need to get better because you had a big comeback yesterday in the penalty box, day one. And you beat me.
I know. Shawn and I played basketball with the Northern Trails Blazers, and I have zero faith that I am going to win at all this penalty box challenge, but it is the best 3 out of 5. And then day one, starting off strong.
Yeah.
I just took you out, Shawn.
Oh, my goodness. I was so confident going in. I was like, if I don't win all 5, it's going to be a disappointment. First one done. Lost basketball against you. I think my favorite thing, big shout out Gross from the Northern Trail Blazers basketball organization. He was hilarious. He was great to just hang out with. We were warming up before the video started, which you can check out on our Facebook page, the video Steph and I competing. We were warming up before the video started. And Gross saw us shoot, and he altered the competition because I think he didn't really have faith in us.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I feel like he was like, these are adults. They've probably grown up going to basketball camp. They know how to shoot a basketball. And then when we got there, he was like, oh no, we were going to do 2 baskets. Now we're only doing 1. And we were going to do it further away, but now we got to put these really close together because you suck.
Yeah, I even wore a basketball jersey to try and bring some good faith, but it did not work at all.
Yesterday, a little later in the show, we talked about how I got addicted to Love is Blind this weekend and binged the entire thing. But then you went home and were like, thanks for the show, Recco, Steph. I'll watch it too.
Yeah, pretty much. So I stayed up with Love is Blind kind of throughout the 2 seasons that were going on. And I needed to watch After the Altar, and I needed to watch the 3 episodes that they just came out with. And I got to say, holy moly, this is perfect television for me to just turn my brain off during a rainy day. It was hilarious.
You know what I just noticed is that Nick and Vanessa Lachey were not in it.
Oh yeah, they just kind of produced the episodes as they were.
Yeah.
Maybe they were busy.
Host.
Maybe they were busy doing season 3 because that comes out in a month.
Perhaps. What were your big observations from this one? Yeah,
so if you're putting off watching these 3 episodes, highly suggest you do it because it's very entertaining. I think the show is just curated for drama. That's my main takeaway right here. There's a whole bunch of things that clearly could have been just resolved or avoided, but I bet you producers were just stirring the cauldron. They're like, oh, should we invite Shayna to the party so she could show off her new boyfriend or maybe now fiance and get into Natalie's grill and just spark up that drama a little bit? That didn't need to happen.
Well, I feel it's a rom-com waiting to happen. Everything can be solved in one conversation if they would just have it in the first scene. None of the rest of the movie would happen. And this is the same with Love is Blind. It's if they just talked to each other like normal humans and had a little bit of conflict resolution, none of it would happen. But instead, they're over in the corners being like, did you see that Shayna showed up? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Does her boyfriend know that Shayna and Shane were texting each other? No, he doesn't. Should I tell him?
Oh,
I have to get the
man.
entire cast on board and ask their advice. Should I tell him? And it's he's going to watch this. He's going to know. You've just told him.
Yeah, so if you've been putting off the 3 episodes, just watch them. They're 40 minutes long each. They're easy to watch. And then my last takeaway was the quick blip at the end of what they did. There's a quick 2-second blip at the very end of the episode, which I think teases that they need to come back and do a recap of the blip.
They're setting up for what's a sequel triple? A trequel?
Sure. We'll Google that one. I want to know if you've ever done this, Steph, because we both kind of live that frugal lifestyle, okay?
Mm-hmm, yep.
You go into the store, there's that discount rack. It might have pastries on it. You got a little loaf of bread that's usually $5. Boom, 50% sticker. It's now $2.50 type of thing. Have you ever bought that?
Absolutely.
Just toss it in the freezer?
Yep, toss it in the freezer and then make toast with it. Why not?
Exactly. Hey, that's what I do as well. That's usually what I go to the pastry aisle. If I see donuts or maybe a specialty kind of thing, and there's only 1 or 2 of them, and it's 50% off, I'm 50-cent donut? Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Throw that on. I ventured into the meat part of the discounted stuff yesterday.
Okay.
Wouldn't recommend.
No?
Well, maybe I just had a bad run-in. I saw some marinated chicken breasts, and it was like previously frozen, now discounted for sale.
And it was raw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was like $9 and like $5 off. So these two chicken breasts was like $4. I'm like, what can go wrong? $4, right?
I mean, some things can go wrong,
Yeah,
but for $4, you're going to give it a try.
In the moment you slap a sale sticker on that thing, I'm hook, line, sinker. I'm sold. I'm like, $4? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Two giant chicken breasts? I mean, come on. Marinated?
Wow, you did all the work for me?
Yeah,
I am in.
I'll tell you what could go wrong, though.
Oh, no.
It was a little rubbery. I don't know what happened. I felt like I was just constantly chewing.
Okay, Shawn, I thought you were going to say you spent the night on the toilet.
No.
You felt really ill. I mean, you started with raw chicken and it was rubbery at the end. I think that might be a user error.
Is that me?
Yeah, like a chef that isn't actually a chef making the $4 off chicken. I bet you a chef could have made that chicken.
No,
taste
I'm
good.
sticking with the $5 off, okay? Previously frozen, not my fault.
Had a bit of an unexpected adventure on my way home from work yesterday, Shawn.
Okay, I know a little bit about this, but continue on. I'm curious to hear more.
Yeah, I feel like adventure is a word that sounds far more fun than what it was. I wish I could think of like a tragedy, a
There we go.
sadness,
Catastrophe.
a catastrophe. Yeah, that's a good word. So I pulled out of Prospect Drive, turned left onto Confed to head down 63 when all of a sudden my car went whoomp. And then it continued in that noise, just a little less loud, but it felt like I no longer had at least one tire underneath me.
Yeah, that's not great at all.
Yeah, so I got myself pulled over into a merge lane, put my four ways on, and I was like, okay, let's get out and see which tire is no longer there. And all my tires were intact. And so I was kind of like, okay, so I'm texting my husband. I'm like, something very bad just happened to my car, and he's working, so he's not replying. And I'm like, and I don't know what to do. And I feel like I am an adult and should know what you do when like things break down, but I didn't. But that's okay because a kind soul stopped.
Yeah.
And he was like, what's going on? And I was like, I have no idea. This is the noise it was making. And so he crawled underneath my car and was like, oh, you broke your control arm. And I was like, that sounds expensive. And he's like, no, it's only about $100 and 4 bolts. And I was like, that sounds like my husband can do it.
Yeah. Is it raining during all of this, by the way?
Yes.
And he's just under your car?
Yeah, just like a great, kind civilian.
Are you kidding me?
I know. I wish, like, I got his first name. It's Ethan. Thank you so much, Ethan. I feel like I owe you, I don't know, a case of beer, a bigger shout out than this. And then after he left and had been so kind and we chatted for a while, a tow truck pulled up behind me. And I was like, man, the tow truck I called said it was going to be 3 hours. Like, you were fast. And he's like, oh, I'm actually not who you called. I was just checking in on you because I saw you coming up the hill and I wanted to make sure you were all right. And I was like, wow, like, thank you so much. He, too, crawled underneath my car
goodness.
and was like, oh, yeah, this is what's wrong. Quick and easy fix. Don't worry about it. And then he said, I'm going to wait with you until your husband gets here because you're obstructing traffic and I don't want someone to rear end you and you to get hurt.
I would have been like, I'm canceling the other one. Can you take me right now?
I wanted to say that. I wanted to be like, you are so kind. I should give you my money. But I have like a AMA membership and so it was a free tow. So I felt like I should save the money for the car repair. But shout out to Guy for all his help with that too. But I just was so bewildered at these kind souls who were not planning on stopping and helping anyone today. They were going about their own business, but they took a moment to pause and help a stranger. And I just was so blown away at how quick they did it. You know, I was there for less than 2 minutes when the first guy showed up. He was gone for less than 2 minutes when the second one did. And just such kindness out of nowhere. It gave me all the warm and fuzzies, and it kind of made it okay that my car is in a decrepit state right now.
Yeah, it's a little sugarcoat and all. Ethan and Guy, thank you so much. Mid-rain to help Steph out. In the meantime, you are incredible people there. Strangers helping people. Steph, you just went through it. Absolutely incredible people here in the RMWB, hey?
Yeah, for sure. 2 different folks stopped to help me when my car broke down yesterday. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Ethan.
780-791-1037. You can text or call. We're just kind of talking about great strangers in the community. And we had a stranger text in here, not too sure of their name, but thank you so much for tuning in. They said, amazing people here in Fort McMurray. They're a courier driver, and they've been in some jams almost every winter. Lots of driving going on, and within minutes, every single time, so many different people have helped out. They said you're never stranded for too long without getting help from someone.
I love that, and I think that's a huge thing about in the middle of winter. Like Chloe said, she was walking home in the middle of winter at night, she and her partner, armloads full of groceries, and a car stopped and just said, hey, get in, where are you headed, I'll take you there. And she was like, I was a little bit skeptical at first, but they were the nicest folks ever, and they got them home warm and their groceries into the house.
I was gonna say a little risky, but worth it for the warmth. Yeah, my battery last year was just obnoxious.
It was just always dead, and you never freaking replace it.
I didn't replace it. I was like, I'll just plug it in. Just a little baby charge. But I do need to buy a new battery. But my neighbor, he would always hand me that mobile charging kit. Oh. And he'd always just be like, hey, here you go. Never like a hesitation. Just always like, yeah, you can spark your car up with this kind of thing. So it's just like, oh, you are so great. And I will buy a new battery this go around before winter hits.
And now you got strangers that become your friends because they're like, oh, he's just relying on me now. So I guess I better get his first name.
That's right. I repaid him with beer too. So that's pretty good too.
As we watched the Queen's funeral and honestly the last 10 days of media coverage on our TV here in the studio, I was so glued to the screen, and both of us just were like, what do you think about this? What about, there were so many questions arising from this ceremonious occasion.
Mm-hmm. Why is it going on? No.
Shawn.
The one thing was the casket. That, like everyone, all the pallbearers, like carrying it everywhere. It was like, okay, do you think she's actually in there? A and B, how much does that thing weigh?
I know. I was really wondering, I was like, what if she was just cremated and they're carrying her empty box around? But as well, I did look it up. How heavy is the casket? Because there was only like 8 guys around it, and they're carrying it on their shoulder.
Oh, you got answers.
Yes. They said it was either 550 to 700 pounds.
Ooh.
It's a lot. It's made of oak, and then it's lead lined to stop body decomposition because she's not going to be buried. She's going to be in a wall.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. So if it's around, let's say if we take the middle of that, like 600 pounds, 8 of them, some quick math here. What is that, around 80 some pounds per pallbearer that they kind of have to distribute the weight around?
Yeah, carry on their shoulder for a while. And thankfully, they did have the gun carriage there, so they didn't have to carry it for the 5 hours that they were walking yesterday or every other day.
Yeah.
But other questions arose are they allowed to move their arms to fix their hat? Because some of the straps on the bottom of those giant furry black hats were up in people's noses, and others, the hats had come completely down over their eyes, and it was like, can they perhaps just see the heels of the person in front of them?
They needed a hat fixer. If they weren't allowed to, someone should have been able to go around and just slightly adjust that. Yeah, I noticed that as well. I wonder what all the different hats meant as well. Obviously, different ranks or something within the monarchy or the army or
different areas of the monarchy, because they definitely had white feathers coming out, some looked more like wizard. It was very interesting. And then the shoes, I also was very concerned about their feet and their walking. I was like, they've been walking for so long, so straight legged and so slowly, one, you have to get a cramp, but as well, how do your feet feel? Does everybody have orthotics? Are those Sperry very comfy shoes? It just felt just a lot of questions arose. I just was really feeling for all those people in the parade, in the march.
Yeah, I found out about the foot one here, though. They're all wearing secret Crocs, so they were good. They were very comfy during the whole thing. I came across a post on Facebook just yesterday, and it was in one of just the bizarre groups on Facebook locally here in Fort McMurray, and the person labeled it Fort Mac Highway Pirate. Now, what do you think they're referencing a highway pirate to be?
Fort Mac Highway Pirate. Somebody who Jumps out in front of vehicles, makes them stop, and then steals all their stuff. No.
That's hilarious, but no.
They're a pirate. That's what pirates in the sea do.
Just a big boat of a vehicle just makes everyone stop. No, it's the photo radar on the side of the road every now and then.
Oh.
So they took a picture of it themselves and they posted, just like giving a heads up to like everyone essentially in the Facebook world, like, hey, this car's going to be parked here for what, like 2 hours kind of thing.
Okay, but that makes sense though, as a pirate, that the pirate is sitting there and taking people's money.
True.
For them doing wrong.
Yeah.
Like, but, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And just the comments always on these type of photo radar stories I find are always so hilarious. People are always like so angry. They're like, oh, why are they doing it? It's like, well, don't speed, first of all, essentially.
Yeah.
That's like the main gist of it. But then I heard this old like kind of like fairy tale. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard it through circles that there was this one time photo radar was parked there and someone took the license plate off the photo radar car, put it on their own car, and then just was speeding by the photo radar a bunch of times. So it was like the photo radar car license plate was getting the ticket every single time.
Oh my goodness.
Which I hope is true, because that is one of the most funny stories that I have ever heard. If anyone can confirm or deny that, that would be great.
Yeah,
780-791-1037. But there's like people coming together in this Facebook post right here. And it's like, we need to band together. And we need to, someone needs like a square truck, like a block truck. And they need to park
a cube
behind,
truck?
there we go, cube truck, block truck, a brick truck. Big truck. They need a big truck. And they need to park behind the photo radar every time they park there, and then someone will come and pick them up so they can't take pictures of us on the highway anymore.
Oh my gosh.
There's some people banding together, and I'm like, yeah,
violent.
let's get people together and let's just park behind these stationary trucks here.
I just feel like obviously it's the worst when you get a photo radar ticket, but honestly, if you do follow the speed limit, you won't get one.
Steph, that's too hard. We need big cube truck.
Square one, a block one. Seems like phrases come and go and they get popular and then they kind of fizzle out for a while. But one I've never heard until this year, and I've heard it so many times now, is Mercury is in retrograde.
Oh, I've been using this for forever.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I always think like full moon. That's when I'm like, oh, it's a full moon. People are acting really strange.
Yep.
But now this Mercury is in retrograde that I'd never heard of before. I'm like, maybe that's my new excuse for people being weird.
Oh, 100%. If I make a mistake and I don't want to own up to it, Mercury's in retrograde.
You're
right now.
kidding.
Not me. It's Mercury's fault.
Do you like pay attention to when it actually is in retrograde?
No, I have no clue what it means.
Oh, okay.
I've heard it thrown around. I'm like, yeah, sure. That sounds like something I can blame on something not me. Do you know what it means?
I had to look it up this morning. I was like, what's going on? And apparently, like the Farmer's Almanac coined this term. And they thought that it looked like Mercury, the planet, was moving backwards in the sky, but it was a complete optical illusion. But because of this, Mercury, apparently, to astrologers, astrologers,
sure.
is I wanted to make sure I didn't say astronomers because they're two very different
right.
things. Apparently, it's Mercury is the communication planet. So if Mercury is in retrograde, you need to be really careful about the ways you communicate. If you follow the stars, and as well, it matters for like your different star sign. So
I'm a Pisces, so I think, does it hit me different or what?
If Mercury was in retrograde if like in March or February or whatever. But because right now it's like Libra and Virgo means something different. But the main thing is they're saying if you feel different during this time period, you should not sign any contracts or make any big like binding decisions because your communication is off.
Or no house buying, none of that.
Yeah, don't get a new job.
Don't renegotiate my contract with my job, anything of that nature. Or will I make the stark decision, or will the employer or the person selling the home make the bad decision? Or will we both make bad decisions?
Who knows? They said that after Mercury is out of retrograde, which is happening on October 2nd, you might look back at that contract and see it differently, whether that's in a good light or bad.
This impact you're having on our lives.
I know, and it returns again December 18th. If you like this season, don't worry, you'll experience it again soon.
Got a little emotional last night watching Sports Center, and it was because one of my favorite people who works for TSN, he was diagnosed with cancer last year, but he made a return for the very first time last night, and it was very great to see him. His name is Darren the Titian.
Oh, cool. I'm glad he came back. That's amazing.
Yeah, and he grew up in Saskatchewan. He's from Regina. I think he grew up on a small town, Porcupine Plain. Shout out Porcupine Plain. And we even went to the same school, and he's one of the reasons why I went to the school that I went to, the broadcasting school in Saskatoon, is because I wanted to get to, still want to, be like a sports guy. That's what I talk about all the time.
Sports guy.
Yeah, and so this is just a little clip of what he had to say on his first night back.
Honestly, a year ago, I didn't know if I'd be coming back. That's when it was diagnosed that I had cancer. And so then it started a whole arduous process. It had metastasized as prostate cancer, and it had gone through my body, still is. It's not the kind of cancer where you ring a bell. So it's still in the base of my skull, my ribs, my legs, hips, and stuff like that. But it's treatable, and I feel really, really good. And the place that I feel best is right here. I've been practicing my highlights at home, I swear to God, in the morning. Absolutely, watching the morning loop. But then I get here and I'm like so nervous, and it's just like, but now it's, it's nice to get the first show.
Yeah, and so he's in his mid-50s and his first show back, and it was just amazing to see him back in his element with his co-host, just living his best life, hopefully again. My online shopping saga is it's just a bad move. I'll just say that right now.
It is so funny because you literally never buy anything online for years. You buy one thing, and it has been going on for 2 months. We've been talking about it.
Yeah, I tried to buy sandals, and so I went around to the local places around here. Couldn't find the ones that I like, so I said, you know what? I guess I'll go online. I guess I'll do this. Apparently, you got to read all the small print online. And you got to, return policy, didn't like the sandals. Horrible. So I was like, I'll just go return them, because that's a thing. And then I package it all up. I figure out how to return it, take it to the post office. What do you to Ontario? Okay, what do you think it costs to ship a shoebox? It's like a tiny shoebox, not a big one, a tiny one that fits 2 sandals in it, to Ontario. What do you think that costs?
I think usually the return policy is they pay the shipping costs on return.
This is what people are saying. It's like, why did you pay money? It's like, because I don't know.
Because you ordered
I've never
from the
ordered
wrong
anything in the past 3 years online.
This is why you have to shop in person. Okay, so I would guess it would cost about $12.
No, $27.
$27.
I'm basically paying for my sandals again to return them.
So tell me that you took them out of the box and said, I'll sell these on Facebook instead.
Where were you? No, I sent them off.
You
and I was like,
didn't.
I'll just get $10 back, please.
Shawn, that is rookie mistake after rookie mistake. Oh my goodness.
I know. I'm not happy about it.
And now it's October.
And now I don't have sandals either.
Yeah, well, you don't need them till next summer anyway, so you've got some time to shop around. We have Brittany McDonald here with a resource development coordinator with the United Way joining us this morning. Very exciting event coming up in a couple weeks in support of the United Way. What's going on?
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm just here to talk about our gala that's coming up. So the gala is coming up October 1st. It is in support of the United Way. A couple things the United Way does is we support 25 different agencies here in Fort McMurray, as well as 36 different programs. So we kind of have our branches in kind of everything here in Fort McMurray. So the gala is coming up. The tickets are on sale, and we are just really hoping for a wonderful sellout event. It's been a lot of work going into it and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And we're just definitely hoping everyone will come out, have a really good time. It's kind of the first gala of the season, and we just want everyone to come out, enjoy. It's a sit-down dinner, so it's bound to be a really good night for everybody.
And now Red Tie Gala, how does that differ from other ones?
So we, of course, as the United Way, are go red all the time. So we are supporting different colors, obviously red being a big one for us. So we're hoping everyone comes in either red, gold, or black. And if you don't own anything red, we will have a few things for sale as well. So need not fear, but if you've got a red bow tie, we would love to see that and love to see everybody out there with their red on.
Very fun. Now, you were saying this is the first of the gala season, of course, going into the fall here. But also, is this the first Red Tie Gala for United Way?
Yes, this is our inaugural event, so it's a big deal. We've been looking forward to this for a couple of months now, and we kind of tried there back in February, but again, with COVID and everything like that, we sort of had to postpone. So it is our very first one. So the nerves are high. And there is some, like I said, blood, sweat, and tears, but it's going to be a really good event, like just a good night for everybody to come out, enjoy, and we get to start to see everybody again. So that's the hope, is everyone comes out, sees their friends, and has a good night. We've got DJ Cupid in the night, so that'll be even better. And yeah, lots to look forward to.
How can people grab the tickets? In person, over the phone, email, website?
You can easily just go onto the United Way Facebook page, and it's right there. So easy peasy. You can also go onto our website as well, or Mac Calendar. So there's 3 different ways for you to be able to get your tickets.
And one quick more question. So the night, October 1st, DJ Cupid is going to be there. What else can people expect?
So like I said, you can expect a sit-down dinner. We've worked really hard with Mac Island on a really delicious menu, so hopefully it appeases to everybody. And we'll have live music, a couple of speeches. There's going to be a live auction as well with some really amazing prizes to be won. So there'll be that. And then, yeah, just a really good night with a lot of dancing.
Awesome. Brittany McDonald, the Resource Development Coordinator with the United Way. Head on over to their Facebook page to get your tickets for the Red Tie Gala happening on October 1st.
Thank you.
Well, good morning. It is Smile Cookie Week. We have Cindy Amarongan and Lorna Ash from the Northern Lights Health Foundation here with us, because Smile Cookie Week at Tim Hortons means that the funds from them goes to you guys, right?
Absolutely. 100% of your dollar to purchase a cookie comes right back to local health care.
Now, does it matter if you buy the cookies in the morning, in the afternoon, all day, every day, all throughout the week? Just buy some cookies, right?
Yes, correct. And as we just stated, it is okay to have cookies for breakfast. The iconic chocolate chunk cookies, they're all for charity, so it's good for breakfast as well.
Yes,
that's all I needed to hear.
Lorna says they don't count. The calories don't count when it's for charity.
They absolutely don't. And thank you so much for bringing us some cookies for breakfast. I can't wait to dive in. Now tell us, the funds are going to the Northern Lights Health Foundation, and where are you going to put them?
Well, it all depends. So this is considered for us a third-party event, and what happens is it goes to our unrestricted funding. So when AHS comes to us and says they have a priority project or program or something they're needing funding for, that goes directly to our board, and our board of directors then decides if it's okay, if it's something that falls within our guidelines. And those funds then, the unrestricted funds, are so important because they're sitting there, they're ready when it's needed.
And one of the projects that we're funding right now, which we can see these funds going not directly towards, but towards, are the those pediatric mental health spaces that we talked about when we were here the last time visiting you guys. And we're going to keep those on the agenda for a while. It takes months to create things like a mental health space, and we're still fundraising for that. So we can see these funds going towards the projects that are already approved at the hospital. So.
Yeah, I see it as a win all around. You eat good, you help local charity, you help the local health authority. It all goes towards a great cause here.
So Smile Cookies are at Tim Hortons all week long, the entire week?
All week long in all the Tim Hortons locations. So you can pre-order. If you want to pre-order, you can just contact us at the office. Otherwise, you can just show up and get those Smile Cookies. So get them for everyone you love and care about.
Perfect. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Lorna.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.